Yeah, all day, every day.
All day, every day.
Go up this.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Not So Round Table. It's just George and I again. If you missed last week, we had John and one of his awesome angels with us answering some cool questions.
That was a good episode. It was very
Yeah.
uncomfortable wearing makeup.
Well, it was Halloween, so you make small
I do not have
sacrifices.
Ebola.
You guys know how we do with the Not So Round Table. You guys submit questions in previous videos, and those questions go into our helm of reasoning so that George and myself, or one of our guests, if we have one, can answer them in a completely unqualified and unjustified manner. Enough of that. You want to start, or you want me to start? Fine. Here we go.
I was gonna rock paper scissors, but
No,
too late
I feel
now.
like we do that too often.
Why? It wastes time.
This is true. Dice Airsoft asks, "Hello, Matt, George, and guest, if applicable. Keep up the good work on the
Our
channel."
can of Red Bull is the guest.
Yeah.
Check it out. I'm a news reporter.
We should do a news. Okay. My question is this: what 3 tips or tricks would you suggest for an airsoft-based YouTube channel to have? P.S. Matt, I'm the one who sent you the video of my SIG 556. Oh, he sent me a private message on Facebook. He showed me the SIG 556 he made.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. So 3 tips or tricks you suggest airsoft-based YouTube channel to have.
Good content.
Content.
Non-boring content, so entertaining content. That means
Entertaining content.
if your I can tell you right now, if your video is more than 2 minutes long and you're just starting out, it's too long.
Really?
Yeah, get people's attention quick.
Well,
Then
I
you
mean,
can-
is this a review video or is this a performance video, or are you saying any video?
I'm just saying to get people interested in your channel first. I mean, unless you're doing like a full-blown documentary or something like that, you might have a hard time marketing yourself.
Okay. A tip from me would be post content regularly. You know, develop a time when people who do watch your channel start to know, okay, you know, he
These are all
posts
things
on,
we don't do.
he posts on Tuesdays, and I know, right? He posts on Tuesdays, so I can always tune in on Tuesdays,
Yeah.
or you know, maybe not a day a week, but
we
at least
try.
post a video or 2 a month
Yeah.
to give people something to tune back in for.
Yeah, we sometimes our videos release in the morning like we intend. Sometimes they release in the afternoon
And
because there was a problem.
And tip number 3. Know your audience.
Yes. And think about all the big successful YouTube channels that are involved with Airsoft that I've seen have had that one video that puts them.
Well, yeah.
That, you know, that is a lot of it is luck, a lot of it is timing, a lot of it is content. So it's just important to
And knowing your audience.
and you know what? Also, you know, this is a piece of advice that maybe will sound a little weird, but like everybody's trying to do the same thing now, and there's a lot of competition out there. So if you have trouble, like there's no secret formula to making your channel a success.
That's true.
You really kind of have to
Do it for yourself.
do it for yourself, and people will see that you're doing it for yourself and let it grow and be consistent about it, because even the big channels now all started out as a small channel. You know,
That's true.
whether it's Jet, Milsim Junkie, any of those guys who have pretty
Jonathan,
big Jonathan,
Airsoftology has
yeah,
been doing
all
it
those
long.
guys started out and they just kept delivering the content, and eventually it caught up with them. And
And really, they did it for themselves, and then the success came later.
I don't think Jet did it for himself.
Of course he did it for himself. You don't post 300 videos because you wanted other people. He did it for himself. 10 years of doing it for himself.
And now he's got an ego.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He's really cool.
He's like your hero. You're like, I want to be Jet.
Dude,
I'm
when
just
I got hurt the other day, I was just like, Jet, heal me up. He's just like, okay. And he put some gauze on my elbow, and he was just like, oh, they don't have any tape. I was just like, do you have electrical tape? He was just like, yes. And he like electrical taped it, and I was like, am I a BB Wars hero too now? And he was just like, no. He was just like, no. You hit your elbow on a door.
I've known Jet a while with like, and the cool thing about his channel is his personality that he's had for years, how he's acted in Airsoft games, comes through on his channel. He acted like that before.
He's always been
Yeah,
just
he's always. I've always seen him
Jet.
running around doing stupid things before.
true.
Now he just does it on film. Love you,
Yeah.
Jet. I miss you. Have fun at Faded without me.
All right, go for it.
Oh, yeah, Faded's coming up.
Yep, Faded's coming up this
Lucky you.
next week.
When you guys are seeing
Yeah.
this video, I'll be on a beach.
Yeah, and I will be in man.
Fearless Rage, what catchphrase would you use right after clearing a room of enemies by yourself?
Oh, actually, that reminds me. There was a game. We were at Irene, those
2 years
green
ago.
apartment buildings
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm running across the street. You're with me.
Yeah.
And Jet's with us.
Yes.
And we're
The
busting.
Three Musketeers?
Yeah, we're busting across this opening. And I kick in the door.
Yep.
And I was just like, "Freedom, motherfucker!" And the poor guy that was inside was as a civilian, but he was wearing green. So I was like, "This guy's about to die right now." And because I was thinking so quickly, or maybe lack of thinking, I was just like, "Freedom!" The poor guy cried. He was upset. I eliminated him in his own house.
And we stole all his stuff that was in his house.
We
He had
stole
some
his
good
stuff.
stuff in that house. He had a weapons cache and all this stuff. See, we do work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yes, freedom would be my catchphrase.
Damn it. I was going to say hashtag freedom.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. We came up with this last, the Irene, it just happened. That's all we were saying was running around going hashtag freedom with America. America. So I would say he would say freedom, blankety blank, and I would say hashtag freedom.
Yeah, and then Jet's doing flankety flank, or
No.
operate, or what is this?
Operate.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Or I would just
That's
go.
a stupid catchphrase.
No. Here's would be Jets. Tango down.
Oh yeah. He does tango down.
Oh no, it's cool. We haven't released our night footage from Ironclad. There's this great shot that Roger got with the camera, and you basically see Jet because he was borrowing my gun, which the IR laser was never zeroed. So the lasers point at the dude, and the BBs are going like 10 feet above him, and he's just going tango down, tango down, tango down.
Oh really? You can see him not hitting him?
And then you see my laser hitting the guys. So he wasn't even hitting anybody.
Wow.
Calling you out, bro. That's
Nick
okay. It's my
Nick
fault.
Logan asks at Insert, do you need to lube non-blowback pistols?
Is it gas?
Yeah.
So I would think that anything gas related, for the O-rings, you would have to lube it.
That begs a question. What if it's not a disassemblable pistol? Because a lot of non-blowbacks don't have a takedown like a blowback.
Yeah, but if they still have O-rings and stuff in there, I mean, CO2 isn't a lubing gas.
That's true.
So
Maybe very sparingly and only on like your gas seal parts. The O-ring that takes the green gas, or where the CO2 cartridge seats, or maybe very very sparingly on the O-rings around the bucking. Huh. That's a good question, and I wish we knew more about it.
yeah, I mean, gas blowbacks are gas powered pistols that aren't gas blowbacks are very kind of rare now, and they're kind of more on the low end side. So
For those airsoft technicians out there that are watching and kind of commenting along with us,
you're not an airsoft technician?
not as much as I'd like
Get
to be.
Ryan in here.
If you guys want to comment in the section below and answer that guy's question, maybe you guys have better insight than we do. Word.
Okay.
What's going on in this episode?
I'm really tired,
okay.
and I'm going on vacation. I'm excited. Anyway, what you've waited for asks, would you rather play airsoft in a leotard or a tutu? Leotards and tutu are very similar. They're both.
No, leotards. Leotards.
Yeah, I know what a
And then a
leotard, but
tutu is
they're both used for dance. Okay, I was gonna say a story about me in college with some friends with leotards and.
I don't
stuff.
know
Yeah,
if you want to.
It was
Okay.
it was Halloween night. We had a party, and my sister used to be in a dance, even up to a late age. So my friends thought it would be very funny. It was snowing outside, so there was no trick or treaters. So they thought it would be very funny to, under the influence of certain things, to put on the tutu and leotards and go trick or treating, because no one else was trick or treating that night because it was snowing.
Yeah.
And let's say my neighbors.
Did they file a complaint?
No, but they mentioned it to my parents who were out of town.
Nice.
I mean, I was like 20 something. I was in my 20s, and I was either home for. I don't know why I was there. I wasn't at college at the time, so.
So they called your parents and they're like, "Hey, your son showed up."
Yeah, I don't really remember. Yeah, I don't remember. I know I was in college, so I wasn't in high school, so it wasn't a Ferris Bueller moment. But it was that awkward moment where like my neighbor was talking to my dad about like these teenage kids running down the street in leotards, and my dad kind of put like George's friends, daughter's leotards and tutus, and kind of put everything together.
Question I have is
this
this a multicam leotard?
No,
I could be down.
Multicam didn't even ACU didn't exist.
I'm saying now, if we had to make a preference now.
Multicam leotard all the way.
I think I'd go leotard simply because you could do the whole ninja thing, and it looks enough like a flight suit that you could get away with.
I like that idea.
Yeah. A tutu's just, I mean, unless you're gonna turn it into a ghillie suit leotard.
But it'd probably get like ripped and stuff as you're going through brush.
Snag on things.
Look at that.
Blackhawk Airsoft BH4 asks, "What up, insert?
What up?"
Greetings from Savannah, Georgia. What do you think is better when playing CQB? Pushing through the middle so you get contact on all sides, or going on the far ends and trying to flank the enemy? Flank. Love the show. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you, man.
Okay, so what do you think? Because sometimes I'm in favor of surprise.
Right.
And some people don't want to go in the middle because they don't want to go in the middle because they think that's where the most contact and that's when they're going to get shot. But if you're quick enough and if they're not thinking of it and if everybody goes to the flanks, you're instantly behind everybody. But
it
doesn't work very much.
So from my experience with CQB play, and that's kind of where I started playing Airsoft.
You're the master.
Far from that. Let's say 70 to 80% of airsofters, and this is a broad, completely unjustified statistic, but let's say that 70 to 80% of airsofters are right-handed. Okay, the natural tendency for a shooter is to take cover so that they can still fire using their dominant hand while keeping their body protected, which means most airsofters, especially in CQB situations where you have a lot of walls, will generally push towards their right. That's why a lot of CQB fields, you'll see both teams kind of do this, and they'll just circle each other, and they'll go to their dominant side, the right.
Interesting. That's kind of true.
So, you have two options. You can either go for the element of surprise and start engaging people with your left-hand side. Unfortunately, if you're a right-handed shooter, that also puts you out in the open more unless you're good as an offhand shooter, which I am not. Nope. That leaves the other option of either being really fast and pushing up the right or going up the center. Very rarely do people look at the center of the field when they're trying to flank because, again, people get tunnel vision as they're rushing, and they're not as concerned about what's going on here when they're worried about taking engagement from here. So if you really want to just have an advantage for CQB, I would say vary your angles of approach. So go right twice, then go to the center once, then go to the center again. Like vary which routes you take each and every round. That way you don't become predictable and then they can't set up a defense against you. Also rolling duo, pairs, or triples. So that way you can each cover each other's angles so that one of you can bound while the other one's covering that movement.
Nice. Professor Matt.
There you go.
Sorry.
I like CQB.
Yeah.
I like getting shot a lot.
I like going left a lot, even though I'm right-handed.
Really?
I find that you can get into some really good positions because the cool thing is if you're on the left-hand side, you can shoot into the middle behind cover on your right-hand side. So
that's
actually,
true. You just have to worry about being flanked, which is why a partner really helps to cover your left side.
Ben Turgeon asks, how do you feel about winter games and playing in the snow? Honestly, I have not done it yet. I've been wanting to do this. I know some places that actually are close to where home that do this, and it's kind of tempting to do it sometimes, but I have heard that even AEGs have performance issues.
I have never played in the snow either, and I've always wanted to because I totally want to do like a shooter, the movie Shooter scenario. Where
Of
you're like
all
up on top
movies to reference, really, Shooter, like
I really enjoyed that film. Mark Wahlberg is a very good actor. I enjoyed it.
But the movie wasn't that good.
Danny Glover was a great villain. That's all I'm saying. He was a little difficult to understand.
But the movie wasn't that good.
I enjoyed it. There was shooting. There was a winter scene.
Yeah, actually, it did have a good ending to it.
Also, I know you've seen Special Ops Mission, that show that used to be on with Will Willis. Yeah. They did a couple
Whiskey.
Whiskey, and they did a couple winter episodes.
I think they did one.
Yeah,
and he lost. That was the one he lost too.
Yeah, but dude, that made it so much harder to see people and to do it. Like that seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that show is top notch. Like that show inspired a lot of airsoft stuff that now has become kind of more standard. Like I remember watching that show and I'm like, I immediately set up my cameras like that, and then now everybody's copying, those kind of things. Like, some people, I'm not going to name names, but have gotten ideas from camera angles that I've executed in the past, a long, long time ago.
Whoa, I didn't even understand that one. All right, draw another one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Was that me or you?
It was me. I read that one, I think.
I always wanted to find that hospital that they did that episode in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Run.
Well, that ship. Yeah, that ship, too. Well, that ship's in L.A. Harbor.
The ship would be legit.
Well, some people did an op there.
I know.
We weren't invited, sadly, so. No, we weren't. Well, then why didn't you go?
Because I wanted to go with you.
Well, if I wasn't invited, then I wasn't invited.
But that's why I didn't go.
People hate me. It's all cool.
No one hates you.
Yes, they do. It's all right.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Crazy About UK asks, how do you use the bathroom during Milsim events with a porta john?
I got a great story about this. So, anytime you gotta be careful around my group of friends, because anytime you say it, you first off, you never tell anyone you're going to the bathroom.
Okay,
Rule number one.
okay.
If you do, you're asking either get shot in the ass
Okay.
or thunderbead in the toilet.
How does that work? So you go into the porta john, you're about to close the door, and then somehow they're able to get a thunderbee inside?
My friends have a very good ability to pick standing hut locks. It's not that hard to pick them from the outside. So if you're on said toilet,
Yeah.
and then
Oh, God.
you all of a sudden the door just opens, you don't have time to react
right.
because you're just sitting there relaxing, trying to. Anyway, door opens,
In comes the thunderbee. Yeah.
door closes.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So I guess the lesson to be learned is how do you go to the restroom at a Milsim event? Carefully.
Don't tell your friends where you're going.
Very carefully.
Yeah.
You want to pull
I'm
another
gonna
one?
pull the last one here.
All right, last one.
And Jeff Anderson asks, "Oh my God, soda can silencers. Would you use it?" No.
No.
That's it for insert.
I mean, it's Airsoft, so in Airsoft you're supposed to use a mock silencer, mock suppressor, because you can't have any silencing capabilities at all. So if you're using a soda can, you're using it just for the look of having a soda can. Like, you're just like, oh, dude, totally improv this. You know what I mean? Because it's not going to do much good.
Yeah.
But can look cool. I mean, I've seen a guy do like the water bottle look, like on a sniper rifle. He did like the water bottle look, but he cut the end out of it again so that it has no silencing capability. But at that point, you're using it as an amplifier. So
Interesting.
can't go wrong with a mock suppressor. Just paint it.
All right, guys, that about does it for this episode of the Not So Round Table.
Holy crap! your outro is like taking. All right, guys. Any future questions? Put them in the Helm of Reasoning comment in the section below. Sorry if we didn't get to your question. The more questions we get, the more full our Helm of Reasoning is becoming, and so we're either gonna have to do one really long episode, or we're gonna have to do like a speed round and just start
speed round.
Just like machine gun
You got like
round.
30 seconds to answer the question. Done.
Peanut butter jelly sandwiches? Yes. And then
Actually, if you want to see that, post in the comments below.
yeah,
All
we can do a speed round.
See you guys.